Okay, we got our guitar painted, and it's looking pretty nice, but we're not done yet. To get that real authentic Relic look, or you know, you don't even need to do that, just your own personal look. You're one of a kind, you know, this is my guitar, this is who I am. Look. Okay, we got to relic out the hardware. Okay, these are the main pieces on a Telecaster, Reactor, you know, whatever. So we're going to relic these out for sure. Now, we're also going to have to drill a hole right here. Okay, let me get a little. We're also going to have to drill a hole right here in the center of the two knobs for a three-way on-off on switch for our P-rail pickup. But we'll get that after we relic it. So what I do is I use muriatic acid. But before I do that, I go ahead and rough these up, scuff them up, you know. So I take a piece of 80 grit, let's just say, for instance. I get the strap, hold it, and I'm just doing the edge. That's all I'm doing, just the edge of it. Okay, just where you see the brass, okay? And I'm throwing that in there. Then I'm going to get the other one. I'm going to do the same thing. Okay. Now, this is our input jack. These are the covers for the tuning pack plate. Now what I'm going to do on those, okay, I'm going to go ahead, and this is kind of a tedious job, and I'm sure there's other ways to do it, but I'm not going to go out and fucking buy tools to do it, okay? I'll do some manual labor here. And you know, it'll be done in 10 minutes, whatever, and be on my way. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to scuff that down. So we got all our little parts done. And these are kind of cheap, so these are going to be a little different. I'm going to take a piece of 80 grit. Actually, I'm going to take this grinder here. I wouldn't recommend that y'all use this if you're not familiar with it. Now, okay, what you want to do first of all is get your safety glasses on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and grind. This is an old used pad. This is not brand new. And you can use a grinder at home as long as it's real old and dull. I'm going to go ahead and grind that down, get that shine off it, and I'm going to hit these edges real good. You know, you got to visualize where your hand would hit and stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I always have good luck if I go in circles. And as you see, now we're going to do the bridge. We're going to go ahead and do it the same way. And like I said, there's other ways you can do it. There's, you know, you can get a tumbler and put them in there for 3 or 4 hours. You know, everybody does everything different. This is how I like it. I've done it all sorts of ways. This is just the way I like it. After I relic it out, see there. After we get it in the acid, I'm going to go over it with Scotch-Brite. You want to kind of put a lid on it because the fumes actually help it relic out. And be careful when you're pouring this stuff in there. Just the fumes alone are dangerous. Watch real close, it'll start smoking on us. We're going to have to fill this thing all the way up. I'm going to go ahead and put this on it. And the reason for that is because the fumes actually help it dissolve. Now, we're going to go ahead and set this over here, and it might be in there for anywhere from 2 hours to 15 hours. We're going to do our pick guard, and I'm going to show you how we're going to do that. I think what we ought to do, because it actually already has a line down here, and you can see where the lines were for the strings. I think we ought to leave the son of a bitch alone and just use it as it is. That's actually a nice vintage pick guard. The only thing that we'll have to do is drill some holes for our pickup. So I think we ought to leave it like that. I was going to go ahead and Scotch-Brite it, but I don't think I'm gonna do that.
We got the guitar painted. We're waiting for it to cure all the way, and we got our metal parts being relicked out. We're waiting for those. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put some relic on our neck. We're going to put some distress on our neck. So we're going to make it look like this guitar's been played hard and heavy. So I'm going to sand that down just like that. And I'm only going to sand it until I start seeing wood. So I'm going to put that in my lap right here because I don't want to bust the nut off. When you see wood, you actually just want to go ahead and stop in that area. And we'll get up here, see, right in this pocket area. See a nice little sand job going there. Go ahead and get rid of some of the finish on the neck. And what you're going to need for that, okay, just any common tool around the house, okay, and you've already seen me using these, and maybe a screwdriver. And the way that I do it, because we're going to stress this neck out pretty heavy, okay, is I'm using a heat gun. Now, you can also use a hair dryer, okay. I just happen to have heat guns, but a hair dryer will work good. You know, it might take a little longer. The heat gun actually heats up a lot faster. So I'm going to visualize the strings going down, and like I said, I already got some lines on it where the strings might be, but we're not going to do it that way. Now I got to lay the neck down to do this, so let me get the neck laid down. Or let me try to do it like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to heat the finish up, and you're not going to hurt the neck doing this, so, because all you're doing is heating up the finish, see? When you see the finish start to bubble, you need to quit. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and just take my screwdriver and lightly put the scratch. And like I said, a hair dryer will work just as good as a heat gun. It might even work better, really, because these heat guns get pretty hot. My neck's pretty hot right now, but that's all right. What we do is we take a sponge, see, and we go ahead and wet it down. And to do this type of job, okay, if you don't know how to set your guitar back up professionally, you're going to have to take it somewhere and get it professionally set up. And all I'm doing is running some water over it to cool the neck down. Okay? Because I got pretty hot, and I'll cool it down a little bit, back to normal. Now I know how to set the guitar up, I know how to set the neck, this, that, and the other, so I'm not worried about it. So I don't know if you can see that or not from that angle, okay? But I did take some paint off, and I put some, you know, scratches in it, what have you. Now we still got to do our headstock here. And I'm going to take the end of this screwdriver because we're going to put some. That's pretty much it on that part. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and stain that we've been rubbing on it. And what that's going to do, it's going to get around the edges and fill in the wood. And give it a high definition look. It looks pretty good. Okay.